For many years before I got involved with this concept, Art Bernklau wanted to build an exclusive community of veterans who would have all of their medical and living needs met, and these services available in their immediate community. We worked on this for years and were blocked at every turn by regulations and crooked politicians. We had all the details worked out and set the idea to paper, but never could get it off the ground. Now another totally new opportunity has come up, and our community concept took an unexpected but ingenious turn. The outline MS Word document is linked in the description, but wait till you hear this.
Hello, this is Dave from Net4 Truth USA Whirlwind Revolt. It is June 24th, 2019, and today I'm going to make a pre-announcement. And I'm going to back up what I'm telling you by referring you to a document that I put in my Dropbox that you are free to read. It is something that my good friend, the late Arthur Bernklau, and I spoke about and planned and almost got fixed, almost got finished several times, but things fell through. And the last attempt was 3 years ago when I started a YouTube channel that took off and was getting 800 new subscribers a day until it reached about 36,000 subscribers. And then Donald Trump won the election, and the adpocalypse and the censorship and the social justice warrior trolls came out of the woodwork and put the kibosh on everything. We wanted to start a veterans village where disabled vets and vets who were always in need of treatment and having to go travel long distances to go see a doctor or to go see a therapist or something could have all of their services met within walking distance. In other words, in a more or less gated community of veterans who would not only have the services of staff on site, but would also have the added benefit of veteran camaraderie, vets helping vets, and all of that. Several attempts over the years have failed. Now, before Art Bernklau passed away, we were able to pass Senate Bill 3421. And basically what that does is if you're a veteran and you come back from the service and you're missing a leg, or you got wounded in action, or you got some psychological trauma that has been inflicted upon you by your involvement in an unjust war for oil and drugs, that if you were denied by the Veterans Administration for your benefits, you now no longer have to go through their rigmarole where they run you around in circles until you're tired, out of money, or drop dead, in which case your lawsuit or your claim would be moot. I am one of the ones who helped Art Bernklau write the amicus brief for that bill, Senate Bill 3421, and I'll leave a link for that in the description as well. You could read the whole thing. I'm the one, primarily, with help of a few others, who blew up the Veterans Residential Therapeutic Program at Groveland Correctional Facility up in upstate New York, where the state of New York and the prison system itself was exploiting veterans to the tune of $40,000 per veteran per year, times as many veterans as they had there, which was an average of about 80 at a time. That was my little investigation and my little contribution to the war on corruption in this government, which is absolutely rampant. I got a call from a subscriber who has been watching my videos since I started. I won't mention his name. He does not want to be virtue signaled. But his idea was, instead of a gated community, which is fraught with all kinds of problems because the demon rats, especially in a blue state, are not going to be, I don't know, outdone by some guy sitting in his living room with his cell phone making YouTube videos. But we are going to put the kibosh on that kibosh, if you will. His idea was to take over one of the abandoned casinos in Atlantic City and make it a residential facility for veterans. All of the veterans' medical and psychological needs and all of their living requirements would be taken care of right there on site without leaving the building. People who would normally end up in assisted living facilities or in nursing homes where they are likely to be abused and exploited would now have fellow veterans to look after them. The veteran camaraderie is absolutely fantastic. If anybody's ever been in that situation, you know what I'm talking about. If this deal goes through, we could have one of the biggest victories for veterans since Senate Bill 3421 was passed. And I'm excited, but I am not going to put all my eggs in one basket. I just talked to Art Bernklau's widow, and we still have a 501(c)(3) corporation that we could use to fund this thing. And there is also talk of private funding from someone who owns over 200 hotels across the country to get this project done. I want to give the kudos where the kudos are due, but the person does not want his name associated with this, and quite frankly, neither do I. All I want to do is do the right thing, and this is the right thing to do because our veterans have been exploited and ignored long enough. They gave their all. They gave everything, sometimes even their lives, to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, which is a lot more than I can say for these politicians, especially on the demon rat side and some of them on the Republican side, who just yap, 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 and don't do shit. So if we get this done, I wouldn't be surprised if we got some resistance from the demon rat side, because we can't have anything good happen. All we can have is a bunch of lips yapping, talking shit, and not getting anything done. So we're on the side of getting something done. And before I shuffle off this mortal coil, these people are going to have something to deal with. Finally, we might, and it looks good from what all the preliminary discussions that I've had. It looks good, but I'm not going to get my hopes up because I've had them dashed many times before, and the only reason that they've fallen through the cracks is because of corrupt politicians, and there are still a lot of them floating around. Or there seems to be a lot of them floating around. I mean, you would think that people would think logically and people would see through their deceptions, but I guess there's some people that just can't be cured of Trump derangement syndrome and libtardosis, and they'll refrain from doing the right thing no matter what it takes. And that's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. And there are people out there who are paid Soros trolls. Oh, by the way, one of them you won't see anymore because that person was just arrested. So, I'm not going to say who it is, but justice is coming, folks. Justice is coming. And the trolls and the libtards out there who have nothing better to do than sit in mommy's basement and call other people names and pass around fake web pages and disparage people and commit perjury and forgery and everything else, justice is coming. And when it comes, it's going to come down like a mountain falling down on you. So, troll number one, you're done. And the rest of yous better get a life. I will keep you advised on the progress of this project. And if all comes the way it has been presented to me, veterans, at least around here, people who are out sleeping in tents in Camden, in a vacant lot in tents, veterans who serve this country. It's disgusting. It's absolutely, totally disgusting. I will leave a link for you in the description where you can get a PDF file or a DOC file, whatever you can read. And if you can help in any way, I would really appreciate it. Read what it says. It's a preliminary document of how the place would run, what the facilities are, what the rules are, how the place would run. And I mean, it's just an outline. But it's a lot better than what we have now, which is nothing. Which is nothing. If you have a veteran who's at home and he needs somebody to look after him, you've got one of two choices at the present time. You can either hire a live-in aide that's going to cost you $40,000, $50,000 a year, or you could send him to assisted living or to a nursing home, either of which will cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a day. And they'll take his house, they'll take his retirement, they'll take his Social Security, and they'll bleed the person dry for as long as they can until he dies. And that's not a treatment that a veteran who fought for this country and put his life on the line for this country should have to face when he comes home. Hopefully, if this goes through, it will start a cascade of such things, because there's a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of places that are not used, a lot of places that are falling apart that could be more aptly suited to housing people who need it. And politicians who would stand in the way, as far as I'm concerned, are a bunch of scumbags. They're a bunch of scumbags. Knowing what they know could be possible, and then standing in the way of it for political purposes, is the lowest form of scummery that I can think of. This is Dave from Net4 Truth USA, Whirlwind, Revolt. Thank you for listening.
Please subscribe to our backup channels, Whirlwind Revolt, Inglorious Patriots, and Net4 Truth USA 2 Patriot channel. You can also find us at Net4 Truth USA on BitChute. We fly so close to the target, we're on our 4th fighter jet. We will be relentless truth seekers until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description, but for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/Net4Truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, You can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $ dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.